chickens! Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. Tell me, have you yet heard the revelation? You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the goddess's salvation with one who has, as yet, been lost. Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth. The conduit, our link to the goddess herself, has given us a special gift, and the gift is thus. By following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way, we can each of us live on for a span greater than the number of stars that twinkle within the goddess's right eye. She came from on high to we mortals and showed us the path to the goddess, where all living souls are naturally inclined. She showed us that injury and malady need not mark the end of life, but that through her methods we could ascend to greater life in service of the goddess. Ah, for this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. Go north, friend, through the forest and into the town of Silverglen, where all may be revealed. There, among her followers and friends, dwells the goddess's ecstasy, her one way. Go on the path to the righteous, my friend. Forget not that the conduit has great plans for you.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval.
Never saw you in the king crab before. You're welcome to scratch me behind the ears if you like. I won't scratch back. I am Unsinkable Sam. At least that's what they call me around here. Used to be a ship's cat, but the clipper I was on sank, and I was the only one to wrestle himself free from the waves. And the people here were kind and took me in. Been the king crab's foremost patron ever since.
I've got my eye on you, Sam.
I am unfortunate challenging the
A magnificent ship she was. Used to belong to a pirate, I was told. Unlike Unlike me, she didn't prove to be unsinkable, though. We hit the cliffs right beneath the lighthouse. Not very apt name for that building, I must say, for no light was shining from it. The moment I hit the water, I writhed around like I would on a hot tin roof. By some miracle, I managed to reach the beach, covered in kelp and smelling worse than a fish's funeral parlor. But I was alive, and that was more than anybody else could say. So I was. What friends I had. They drowned alongside the rats I used to hunt in the galley. And there I was, all alone. Not that I had it bad here, mind you. I've milk and fish aplenty. Most folks will pet me kindly, and when one of the village girls holds me tight against her ample bosom, I purr up a storm. But I do long for a companion of my own kind. And in that regard, there is no one like Maxine. Maxine, the mayor's darling pet. So gentle, so fair a feline. The grace of her whiskers, the subtle palette of dyes in her sable coat. She likes me. I know she does. But when I declare my love, she backs away. I don't know why. I have serenaded her and braved many a bucket of water for my efforts. But for some reason, she is not to be swayed. By all means. People make a fuss about them because they endanger the lands around the city. They never bother me when I'm out for my monthly walk, though. But still, I detest them. I mean, they're so unnatural, aren't they? Cats can have 9 lives, but humans are only entitled to 1.
I am a duke, but cases a peasant.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets.
Hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble Captain Aureus before you. It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Consular and I were anything near allies, but I truly never wish the man harm.
Not the mood for cheese. An excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine woman there.
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer, then. Closer? My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. Yes, hello, Source Hunter. Our city welcomes you. Oh, what? Oh, you mean Seal. Very difficult times indeed. As though the death of Jacon by source magic no less weren't enough. We're also facing all sorts of brutish intruders. The undead have overrun all but one northern trade route, while the orcs are making a habit of savaging our beaches. That's not to mention that at the top of this whole caboodle, there's rumors of some new religious sect or cult or some such sticking its tendrils into the innocent, seven-fearing folks of Seal. And, while we're on the subject of troubles, I myself have a private matter I'd like to bring to your attention. It involves a magic relic I rather foolishly sought. A weapon called the Staff of Pergamon. Jake, murdered? Oh, yes. Yes, now I recall. Indeed. I could hardly myself. The Council and I have certainly had our differences over the years, but old squabbles evaporate under such circumstances. Most of the townsfolk are certain Jake's wife Esmeralda is responsible. In fact, the Legion have taken her into protective custody to keep her safe from the mob. As you can imagine, I've known Esmeralda for years. That business between her and the Duke of Ferrol was always a bit suggestive. But I've never had cause to suspect her of violence. Still, one never knows for sure. An all-right bloke, apart from all this Esmeralda nonsense. The whole town knows the only goal of his business trips to Sicil is to spend a night or two at the King Crab Inn with Mrs. Counselor. What of what now? Oh, you're speaking gibberish. Ah, you mean the staff of Pergamon. Yes, yes. I was expecting a shipment of weapons, and among the cargo was this very powerful, very rare staff. I managed to place the order through means somewhat, atypical to a government official. Cecil proved an old fool, though. For the merchant slated to deliver it to me has just informed me that the damn thing has gone missing. I fear it may have fallen into the wrong hands, and I wonder if you could retrieve it for me. His name is Conrad, captain of the Tide Splitter, a merchant ship still docked at the Sicil harbor. You can talk to him if you think it'd help, but I'd quite like to avoid getting the Legion involved, if you don't mind. The staff itself contains a shard of an ore, highly valued for its use in the weapons of war. I know use of the material to be forbidden, but I was desperate to do something to aid the townsfolk against the undead. Well, I do believe that's something your parents ought to have discussed with you long ago, Source Hunter. But I suppose if you really don't know, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least explain. Ah, you see, when a lady and a fellow find each other rather nice, well, rather more than nice, they occasionally... Oh, this is nonsense. I'm the mayor for the 7th sake. I can't be bothered to chat all day about the birds and the bees when Sicil's under siege by orcs, undead, and cultists. That depends. What kind of berries are you interested in, exactly? Ah, the library. Yes, yes, you must have a visit. It's the gem of Sicil. Would you like to have a look? I'll escort... Marvelous! Follow me, then. What? Oh, yes. This library is the jewel in Sicil's crown. The beacon of culture and learning in our fair... My Victoria has every volume you could possibly imagine. And she's got every speck of information about this place packed. Yes. Victoria's come a long way from that little bundle of claws and teeth I adopted so long ago. Ah, it brings a tear to my eye just seeing her here among her beloved books. What? Oh, yes, yes. I'll be on my way back downstairs now. Please introduce yourself. I know Victoria will be happy to make your acquaintance.
The lesser key of Sadakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. The Encyclopedia Daemonium.
In the name of Amun-Hur, I bid thee Tujda Geta Hal. Be welcome, human. My library is yours, as I hope your friendship is mine.
The lesser key of
I'm Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it? When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe. for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Sicile toward the sea. The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amon Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant the chance had put in his way. He raised me like I was his own, this kindest of souls. Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hold is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can ask is that you return the books you borrow so that others may enjoy them too.
I know it by heart.
Kaj'Dinor. The brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will... Hey, stop that!
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh. I need something more advanced. The Encyclopedia Demonium. I know it by heart.
The knight in see-through armor? Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom? Steadticken. Esmeralda
The
does
lesser
have a
key of
propensity for all things
Sadakandras.
naughty, hasn't
What
she?
nonsense. The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And the first edition too. Most promising.
Now this is
Kaj'Dinor.
valuable.
The brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine.
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
Volume 1, Volume 2.
No, this
Where has
isn't the
the
grimoire
third one
I'm
gone?
looking for.
Shatsu.
The
Sometimes I think these books
Encyclopedia
sprout little legs in
Demonium.
the night.
I know it by heart. No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The Encyclopedia
Place this book here.
Demonium.
A
I
volume
know
of
it by
poetry
heart.
among novels? Urak! What mayhem!
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Potent heat! Oh, there's my pepper. Did
Feeling
it
hot
sprout
under the
legs
collar?
and run away? Ah, yeah. We'll have none of that. You hear?
Good look out there, Hunter. Evil lurks beyond Sicile's ramparts.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I
pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Come on.
Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes if ever there was one.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly'll be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful murder investigation, but truth be told, the Legion could use your help as well. We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory, and I'm afraid I must admit they've met with very little success.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now. I pulled her off you before she could do anything.
I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not bad.
Greetings, these doors.
Don't let that rooster escape. He's already on the menu for tonight.
Yes, let's pardon him. Just look at the little blighter. He doesn't deserve the knife.
Why did you let my chicken escape?
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now. I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
You let my chicken escape?
Well, Source Hunter, you come to the right place, you have. I got every style of equipment to fit you from head to foot, if it's a trade you're after.
Roman troops. Rivellon's finest work up my divine appetite.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. Ice blue eyes, narrow beneath a heavy brow streaked with sweat and dust. Her hands tense into claws, held at the ready.
Sorry, sir. Her brow knits together, but something in her pose relaxes. She clears her throat. I am Beardaughter. I have not come here to find trouble with the Screech woman. She only startled me. And you are a source hunter. I have heard many tales of your order. Your history is long, and this woman here, the one who now plots her revenge, she crept behind me while I was hunting, and I only defended myself. I would not hurt an innocent Screech woman on purpose. But soon their swords were upon me, and they forced me into this cage meant for dogs. Mother would rip the fur from her chest if she could see how they keep me.
Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking to.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, right?
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls.
You think that's funny, Private?
I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tull you right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Floppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
Get to shining, recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
After all, a fearless hunter might prove quite useful for our investigation.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
Attention! About face!
Source Hunter, I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our kind. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees. Sorry, sir.
Those boots would embarrass a bridge crew. Get to shining, recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir,
It is difficult for me to claim humanity as you do. I am still learning to see myself in the faces of those I meet. And those I meet do not always see themselves in me.
Get to shining, recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
sir, no, sir.
Those boots would embarrass a bridge crew. Get to shining, recruits.
It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. I am glad that now I have you standing beside me.
Those boots would embarrass a bridge troll. Get to signing, recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private? Sir, no, sir. Attention! About face! To the barracks! March! Recruit! That was lovelier than Siberian stew. Again!
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear? Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. But he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you! If you must. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. Were that I could break their backs once and for all. I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion.
Maybe the lock can be jimmied.
Well, hello there.
Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Pay the big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I'm not exactly the friendliest bloke, the captain, is he? Well, Your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the town's finest magical murder scene.
As good as a new pen. Source was in play here, all right, but that doesn't solve the mystery.
I think it would be wise to inspect the councillor's corpse and see what clues we can find.
Tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the
Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate my complete innocence in the matter? Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer found and tried. But everyone suspects me of this evil deed. And you're no different, are you? So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you believe them? These insinuations truly go beyond the pale. Oh, I think I'm getting one of my headaches. I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Poor man. We were both so young when we married. He so rich and I so poor. But his one and only princess just the same.
Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear Jake had a mineral collection, yes. As far as I knew, it was one of his pastimes. Nothing. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him into trouble? Oh, this is all too much. I feel like I'm drifting from nightmare into nightmare. Well, what do you want to know? I'm telling you, a necromancer must have been at work in Sicil. Perhaps still is. How else do you explain risen dead sprouting like mushrooms in a single night? And that's not even the worst of it. No, the worst is they keep coming back. An endless legion of the dead that even the legion of the living cannot subdue.
She seems to be quite adamant about her innocence.
We'll need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
hunter. Oh, gee, what about it? Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into dribbling hordes. If you must.
How can I help you, my friend? What? I'd never. If you must know, I was merely checking up on Maxine, the mayor's cat. What a delight she is. The temperament of a tiger, the grace of a leopard, and the manners of a lady all rolled into one. A perfect puss, if ever there was one. By all means. Of course. I hope your investigation fares well. I can but piece together what few morsels fell from the grapevine into a rather disappointing... They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground floor where she was soon joined by a man who had been nursing the same cup of wine for hours. I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. About an hour later, another figure arrived, headed for the same room. Soon after, a terrible commotion erupted and the thundering light of magic was witnessed by the few remaining patrons. It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery room. When finally he did, he found Jake there, dead. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. But I had a good look around the scene of the crime before the Legion barred anyone from entering. The traces of magic I felt were vile. Source, no doubt. I myself have none, even though the rest of the town has already mentally tried and convicted Jake's wife, Esmeralda. Now, it may well be established that she is, in fact, the guilty party. I'm not claiming that I'm certain she's innocent, but let's just say that if I really thought this murder case would be so very easily resolved, I wouldn't have sent for source hunters. It might be a bit late to inspect the body, in that it has already been buried. It may be worth your while to speak to the mortician, though. A chap called Roberts. He has a house by the graveyard. Strangers leading orcs. Humans. But that would be like kittens leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts. A shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers. But people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't know quite what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It would be wise not to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. And what might those be? Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already. We've cordoned off the west. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront.
Sorry, sir.
Attention! About face! To the barracks! Not! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! A bridge troll. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Those boots will embarrass a bridge troll. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Attention!
Look out there, Hunter. Evil lurks beyond Sightseal's ramparts.
A good day to you.
Looks like that dog is awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
Rest in peace, darling. Rest in peace, darling.
Hey, wow! I was wondering where that awesome sweaty boot smell was coming from. And here you are. Wow! This is great! I'm Murphy, Jake's dog. Wow, you smell great! Have you been rolling around on bed things all day? That's my favourite hobby too.
Rest in peace.
You know who I miss? Jake. Sometimes he'd just sit there being awesome. And I'd give him this look like, you smell great. And he'd give me this look like, you do too, Murphy. And he was my best friend. I came here so I could smell Jake again. He smelled great. But whatever's buried there doesn't smell like Jake at all. No, it's definitely not Jake. He was awesome. If I ever find out who killed Jake, the most awesome Jake who ever jaked, I'll bark so much! Seriously, so much, you have no idea! Oh, wow! You smell even better than last time! Wow! Amazing! Like the mortician's house during...
Rest in peace, darling.
Jake, where are you? Are you here, Jake? Jake!
What trickery is this? That's not Jake.
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone
Where are you,
snatched Jake's body.
Are you playing without me? I smell... lamb chops.
Darling. Fortunately for you, my homebrew tinctures will do the job. Or if you're in the mood for something a bit more electrifying, one of my inner scrolls might give your system just the shock it needs.